Hello and welcome back to another week of my vlogs, except this week isn't going to be a vlog. This week's going to be a wee bit different. Hello, girl. So if you've been watching from the beginning of my videos, you'll have realised that I kind of started with one, a bit of a rant, and two, halfway through the hall conversion I already had wallpaper off. There was a few things I've already done in the back room as well, and that was because I filmed everything in a TikTok. Oh hello. Oh hello. I filmed the first few weeks of the renovation TikTok and Instagram kind of portrait way before I decided I really actually wanted to make kind of longer form content and film everything kind of horizontally for the YouTube way. So I thought it'd be fun to go back and watch a bunch of the footage that I filmed from those first few weeks, and I suppose just kind of catch up and round out the whole story of the haul, and we can finally show off all the before videos and do a bit of before and after shots as well. So I'm very excited to dive in and see what we have here. We'd got some smart house gear and this was me unboxing it. It was boxed up really weirdly with all the bubble wrap. Oh, cool shot. There's some really cool shots right there. Oh, just some star cuddles. Oh. What's this? This is her going nuts.
You're okay. Oh, hello.
Yep, this is her going nuts. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, my baby. Ooh, I saw a star butt. Okay, now we're on to the house stuff. Maybe. Am I going to appear? Oh, here we go. Oh, this was me first setting up the doggo protection unit. We used to keep rabbits, and this was, they used to live in our old flat. They used to live in my office with me, and we had like a wee door and pen around my desk, so like half the room was rabbit free and half of it they had rabbits, and this was the kind of door in and out of the pen. Never thought I'd find a use for it again, but here we are. Oh, she's on the inside of the door. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say she's on the wrong side of the door.
Good girl.
There we go. Oh yeah, and I put a little doggy bed next to it, and then she would just not sit on the dog bed, so I stopped putting it there. Oh, it's a star video. Oh, look at my baby girl. She's like, no, this is all weird. What's all this? Little did she know all the chaos that was about to happen after that. Yeah, it says the bunny gate. Oh, this was before I took off this wallpaper. Here's the before shot of the back room. Oh, it was such a mess. So yeah, you walk into the room, there was that old wallpaper on the wall, we had a pool table shoved in here. This room had just become our dumping ground. There was about 3 days where it looked like an actual room, then it just became the dumping ground. Months ago I'd already taken off this wallpaper, so that was a mess of a wall as well. And then we had that purple wallpaper which I took off, and we'll probably see that in a later clip here. Yeah, so that was where I'd taken the wallpaper off on that wall previously. I don't know why there was gold there. Oh, that wallpaper. More finger pointing. This is where we're going to start on. This is their back spare bedroom. It's basically just become a bit of our dumping ground for the last like year and a half. We occasionally have people stay, so we've got this bed made up, but it's a nightmare. Did start to renovate it maybe about a year ago and took off this wall of wallpaper. Found some interesting paint texture behind it, which we're going to have to deal with, and then stopped halfway around. So we still have this whole wall of wallpaper to take off, and that's going to be what's what we come off today. Now, this wall isn't going to be the only wall we need to sand. Oh, stop half sentence, okay. If we look over here at this green wall, you can see just all the textures underneath it. I can't tell if this has come from the green paint itself or if it was the wall underneath it. So pretty much this entire room is probably going to need sanded, so I imagine it's very similar. It did. All along. It was horrendous. We had to sand the whole thing down. She's figured out her little doggy bed already. That's my good girl. Yeah. She then proceeded to ignore it for the next like month. I forgot how long this takes to heat up the first time. I was sitting there for ages. Oh, she's in her little doggy jail. Go to the before of the wall. Oh, it was so warm already. As soon as I started the steamer, it was so roasting. Stand there ages waiting for it to heat up. And there we go. Off it came. Oh yeah, I'm remembering now how much of a pain this wallpaper was to come off. When I've done walls previously, they've come off in nice big strips, and this one was just coming off in the tiniest little bits. You can see there I'm using the scraper for a lot of it. It's just because whatever, the like top layer of all the print was coming off really easily, and everything underneath was just a nightmare. it was just a nightmare to get off. I thought that wall was maybe going to take me like 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure it took me like a solid hour.
Like I've barely started, I'm stopping again, but 2 reasons. 1, oh my god, I need water. Christ, I forgot how hot it was when you do that. And 2, I'm gonna go find a smart plug for the steamer, because the amount of times and literally even the last like 20 minutes that I've needed to pause, and I'm not come crawling in and under this pool table all the time. So I'm gonna go find a smart plug.
Oh my god, that was the best thing I have ever done, was adding that smart plug to the steamer. It meant I could turn it off before I'd even stepped off the stools. I could have the plug like so much far away from me. It was genuinely the best thing I ever did, was adding that smart plug to the wallpaper steamer. Honestly, it was life-changing. Yeah, so it's just a wee plug. You put it in the socket before the actual plug, and then I probably should have turned it on after. And you can see it's got the wee light on the top. That wee light tells you once it's connected to the Wi-Fi. That's it off.
Hey Siri, turn on the space heater. Yes, there we go.
There it goes. I'd already connected it up to Siri before, and it was brilliant. Could get it from my watch, I could say to Siri. Genuinely the best thing ever. Okay, back to the wallpapering. Yeah, so with the wallpaper steamer, you just kind of hold it over the wallpaper, let it heat up and moisten the glue that's holding the wallpaper to the wall, and then a lot of the time you can peel it off in big chunks if you kind of go over carefully and peel it slowly. This one wasn't doing that, so I was using the scraper a lot to peel it off. I ran out of water. When it runs out of water, it takes ages to heat back up again. Is this just all? Oh no, there we go. Yeah, so you can see I got a bit of a better chunk there. It started to come off in more solid chunks once we moved away from that edge. I'm guessing maybe they used more glue at the edge or something. And at the bottoms as well, the bottom and top, the bottom had the most glue on it too.
You guys can see this. Half the reason it was so hard to get this wallpaper off is look at these walls. This paint just seemed to stick to the wallpaper like nothing else. You can see there's little bits where it's been ripped off by when I've been peeling the wallpaper. But look at this wall. No wonder that was being such a nightmare. Like, look at all the ridges, the crack. Look at the big indents. I don't know what's going on in this household, but every single wall is battered to hell. I cannot wait to get my sander on these.
Yep. That wasn't even the half of it yet. We hadn't even found the plaster patch yet. Yeah, believe it or not, this was actually one of the better walls in the room. Even with all those nicks and ducats that I showed you, that was genuinely one of the better walls in the room. Oh yeah, so this is when we started in the hall and why I ended up going, So I was meant to do that back room first, and the reason I did the hall first is because I got too excited with the wallpaper steamer and I ended up taking it off on this wall. And then once I took it off and saw the chaos that was underneath, I had to do the hall first because I couldn't. It was hurting my soul so much to walk past the state that the walls were in after I took off this wallpaper. I thought it would be great. It was like, everything's out, we'll just do it. I ended up having to swap and do the hall first. Next.
Okay, let's get going.
Watching these back makes me a wee bit uncomfortable because it really does force me to like look at my body, which I don't do anymore because I'm not comfortable with myself at all at the moment. And watching me with like almost no clothes on, I was roasting. Like I couldn't wear a t-shirt, I couldn't wear anything. I was actually roasting, even in that like little clothing that I had on there. And oh, am I going to do a chat through or before and after? Oh, I think this is just the before shots. Yep, so you can see the full pheasant wallpaper. It went along when you came up the stairs. It came along that little platform. Around the doors, you had this, you can see me in the mirror, you had this beige all over these walls, and then the dark green in the little kind of alcove up to our bedroom. You can see the paint that's on the stairs. Still haven't done that yet. I'm still not sure how to get rid of that. You can see all the nicks and dents on the skirting. Oh, here we go. You can see the skirting. Look how messed up that bit of skirting was before we painted it. We had someone in previously to paint some walls in the hall, which is why some of them were already done. I might have mentioned that. It's been so long. Yeah, just a lot of before shots. You can see the texture on the walls here. Look at that. Oh no. Oh, that's all gone now, thankfully. Oh my god, look at it. Oh, you forget how bad it was sometimes. Oh yeah, and they didn't paint down the back of that. Oh god, and look at that texture around the light switch there. God, I forget how bad it was sometimes. And then you watch this and I'm like, oh. And you can see how bad the paint was up against the wallpaper around the skirting there. Oh my god. Oh, we've all seen the radiator that was under there that they clearly painted while the cover was still on. I tried to make it nice with the sunflowers on the top. I thought they went quite nicely with the green, but it's just a mess. We kept the floor because the rug covers up a lot of the laminate issues quite well, and you don't notice it as much with the rug on, and now that the rest of the room's nice. So we're just going to keep that floor for now. Okay, are we finally going to get some wallpapering? Oh. That didn't last long. You can see, watch this wee bit here. You see me pull this tiny little corner up. Boop. And that's it, done. God knows. Oh,
okay, well that whole plan did not go well. I got a tiny corner lift up and the fire alarm starts going off. I'm going to rethink how to do this because I can't use the steam in the hall if that fire alarm's going to go off.
I forgot about this. Oh my god. This was such a drama.
Sponging in a heat gun? Sponge in a heat... hot sponge?
Knowing what I know now, watching a lot of this is going to be so hard and so cringy. So yeah, the fire alarm kept going off and I used the steamer. So I try alternate methods without using the steamer first. Let's just keep going.
I think we have a solution. We're going to use hot water, which is currently heating up just now, sponge, and literally just dab and peel. It's probably going to take me so much longer. But this is the only thing. I cannot figure out how to turn off or like pause the smoke alarm in this house because it's all connected with the Scottish thing. So we'll see. This might take a while.
With the Scottish thing is there's a law in Scotland where you need to have all your smoke alarms connected, interconnected together. It's a safety thing. It's really good in terms of, you know, if there is a fire in your house, it's very rigorous. But for me, trying to do this with a steamer and it was setting off every fire alarm in my house. Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can't remember how much footage I got of this saga. Okay, I think this is the sponge attempt. You can see that's all I got off before the fire alarm, just that wee like yeah, so I was using this wee sponge and soaking the wallpaper with the sponge.
Oh, hey, yes, this is working. Oh my god. Oh.
I hate that I know what's coming next. This part was only really working because I'd used the steamer in this area before. I thought I was so excited thinking this method was going to work, and it was just where the steamer had already softened everything. That is hella satisfying though. Like, look how easily that bit was coming off. It was just going. You can see I'm starting to struggle now in the corner where the steamer hadn't quite got to. Oh, little naive me. Yeah, you can see this is where the steamer had run out. It hadn't made it all the way over there. You can see there's a little corner left. Look at that little corner. Okay, so this was where you can see me tackling that wee corner with the scraper, and I was going with the sponge and the scraper, and this just was not working the same. And this is when I started to panic again. I was like, oh my god, why is this not working the same? I was getting a decent amount, but again, I'd probably got, that was where the steamer had been, or it slightly touched before. It was not good. You can see the mess that edge is. And this is where I have a little breakdown.
It's going to take so much longer than I thought. The steamer must have done so much more to that one bit than I thought when I started using the sponge. Another try, we're going to go try and find the heat gun.
So I go and find the heat gun and use the sponge and the heat gun together to try and get it to work next.
Okay, let's give this a go.
Alright. I think I tried just using the heat gun first, but it's such a dry heat, it doesn't work very easily on the glue. It probably would, like long term it would probably come off quite well, but you'd need to be there for ages. I also put this little adapter on my heat gun, because I saw it helped spread the heat more evenly, because I didn't want to like burn the wall or anything. So I used this little adapter that helped spread the heat. I'd done some googling on like how different ways to take off wallpaper without a steamer, and someone had suggested using this wee adapter. I think it did work quite well, but it was good, again, just like the sponge, it was going to take so long. You can see me struggling to even get this tiny little bit off here with the heat gun. I don't think I used the heat gun for very long. I don't think I got very far. Yeah, you can see you're starting to get wee bits off, but it was just taking so long. Yeah, so this was when I went and grabbed the sponge and I started using the sponge and the heat gun together. It was working okay, but if you think about how long, it took me so long just to get those two wee tiny panels above the door off. I had this whole wall to do once I got past these 2 doors. I think it was about here I decided to call it quits on it. Oh, this is some more muscle, baby. It really wasn't that hard to pick off. So the couple that used to live here, they must have had cables or like a wee side table or something in the corner, and to kind of tidy the cables up, they'd run this channel on the top of the skirting board, and I hadn't taken it off. I don't know what they just stuck it down, but it came off the wall really, really easily. Slide the top out and get a wee bit of grit. And it would just pop. Oh yeah, so this is a wee trick. If you don't have a screwdriver to hand, you can, but you'd have a wallpaper scraper because, you know, most people have that. You can use the edge of the wallpaper scraper instead of like a Phillips screwdriver. It is near enough the perfect size for most outlet fittings. It does take a while because you can't just, but it works. And I couldn't find my Phillips screwdriver. This is me being cool again. Cool again while I wait for the steamer to warm up. Just gonna skip past that and go straight to the steaming. So I decided to start on the other side of the wall just because I was realising because I'd started on the right hand side, I was almost working against myself. I was holding the steamer over and then peeling this way. Whereas if I moved to the other end of the wall, I could hold the steamer and scrape that way. And it was just way more natural. Yeah, this corner was really hard to get off. This wallpaper, it came off quite well above the doors, but there was some bits that were just really stuck down. Like you can see you get a good stripe there and that whole thing's coming off. Look at it. Ooh, that's smooth. Look at it go. You can see our first patch of wall that was an issue. Oop, and off it comes. There goes the wallpaper. And you can starting to see we're starting to have the first bits where the plaster was coming off really badly underneath there. Yeah, you can see, look at that. Oh god. And this was the reason why I ended up doing the haul first. Like I said, I thought just taking the wallpaper off would be really easy, and then when I started peeling it off and finding these patches, I knew I couldn't just stare at this for like months on end. So that was when I swapped to decide to do it first. Look at all the wallpaper! So much! Like, it doesn't look like much when you're on the wall, but when you're peeling it off and rolling it up, like, there's so much. So you can see just how bad the walls are there. Oh. And then that strip as well. I don't know where the footage is for filming that strip, but look how bad. Like, it's so bad. And that was my view walking right out my door. Like, right out the bedroom door. So every time I would walk in and out of the bedroom, that is what I was looking at. Yeah, look at it. Oh. Knowing what I know now, it looks very similar to the back room where we had the plaster. You can see the plaster there that's been like white and almost prepped, and then the other plaster that hasn't been. I don't know why there's so many different like pieces of plaster change in this house. Oh yeah, and this was when I realised I'd have to take off the skirting because the wallpaper was tucked behind the skirting. Oh, look at it. Ugh. Like, I hate it. I hate it. Oh, here's my starter. Let's get this last strip of wallpaper off. I was really apprehensive about this strip because the wall on both sides was just so plaster damaged. Apparently it only took me 15 minutes to get off. Cool. Or about 10 minutes actually by the time you get the steamer heated up. Yeah, I started using the gloves being like, oh, the steam's gonna hurt myself, and then just no. This was also after I'd watched back the first few clips and realised how much I was hating on my body, so I decided to wear a top. So I decided to wear a top that day, so when I was watching the footage back, I could hate myself slightly less. I'm working on it, I promise. I thought I was doing really well, I thought it was all coming off really well, and then I think, yeah, and it was about here, you can see about 2/3 down the wall, and it started to peel up again. Bye-bye. Oh, look at me getting multiple angles on this day. Oofed. Look, you can really see the two different plaster colours there. Wow, that's nuts. Like, you can really clearly see the two different plaster shades, the exact same as in the spare room. That's so insane to me. I did manage to keep a lot of this paint on actually. I was quite proud of that, but to be honest, that's probably where a lot of the bubbling ended up happening, because same in the back room, wherever the paint probably wasn't stuck down very well, it was exactly where it bubbled, and we saw all those bubbles happen. I probably should have just let it peel and my paint wouldn't have bubbled as badly. Yeah, you can see there I had to pop all the skirting, just all the wallpaper that was under the skirting. Why would you put wallpaper under the skirting? I suppose it means it's easier, you don't have to trim it all on the bottom. But it means if you ever want to change it, you have to take off your skirting. End of the hall, that's what it looked like once all the wallpaper had come off. Oh, the wall was so bad. Oh, I forgot to film that wee getting the wallpaper out of there. That was horrible, getting the wallpaper out of that wee stripe between the two doors. You can see the old colour that the hall used to be peeking out from underneath the, you can see that kind of mint green the hall used to be before we got it painted over. Yeah, look, you can see like exactly where that plaster patch has been. Whoop, 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 whoop. Now, knowing what I know now, I would just take my scraper and scrape all of that off the wall. It's so much brighter. Oh, it's me chatting for ages. Okay, let's see what we got. Not cringing already.
This is the unglamorous, unfun side of DIY, or renovations as well. I have just spent the past hour and a half scrubbing this wall, just this wall, to get the wallpaper gunk off of it before I can then fill the holes, sand those down, sand the other lumps and bumps before priming because there's plaster patches, and then finally painting it. From what you think would be, I don't know, a couple days turnaround for one wall, probably going to take me about a week. And that's not including this wall, which is also in this room, and the hall as well that you see me peel off. Some days it's just a lot of work for not a lot of progress.
Yeah, that day was really hitting home because I'd put a lot of effort and a lot of energy into scraping the gunk off of that wall. I genuinely, I was absolutely exhausted with how hard I had to scrub it to get the gunk off. I have a slightly better system now, which means and I'm slightly fitter, so it's not as bad. But that was like my one job for the day, was to try and get that gunk off. And, you know, there's no before and after shot with that. It's just hard work. The wall looks pretty much the exact same afterwards. You've just spent 2 hours doing nothing that can be shot for content, which is fine. But you know, even just for your own satisfaction, you just put work in. You just put hours of work in for it to look exactly like the same. It's hard sometimes,
but it is what it is, and it's what you gotta do.
Very smart past me. Okay, what we got? Another day. Oh, this was me. Okay, so this is exactly what I was just talking about. This is me scrubbing this wall of wallpaper gunk. And you just see me going along the wall looking like nothing is happening. No changes in taking. I'm just scrubbing a wall.
But that's the wall done in just over 2 hours. A wee bit longer than I wanted to spend on it, but it's done. Now go enjoy my weekend. And next week we'll fill holes and get painting.
I think it was the week after this then that I probably started filming on YouTube. So I think we're coming to the end of this content. Here's a wee weekend bonus for you. We took Star to a run around open field. It was so cute. It was just off a kind of busy road. And we got up this busy road, there's a bunch of farms, and then we saw this like sign. The first time we actually drove past it, this was us doing a U-turn and turning back round towards it. We almost missed the sign. Run free field, so you just went up the road. There was a wee parking space and a door with a lock that you put a pin code in. So when you booked the field, you got a pin code and you popped the pin code in. There was a wee hut with a wee bench, which was great. It meant we could have somewhere to put all our stuff. They even had some free dog bags. There was a bin. There was a wee water bowl and tap. It was really good, and the field was massive. I was a wee bit apprehensive at first and we put her on the long line because I thought it would just be like sheep field or cow field, like fences. But no, it was big. 6 foot tall, solid wood, a really robust metal mesh between the stakes as well. I was very impressed with the fact that she was on the long lead to start with. She would not be able to get out of here if she tried, but she definitely would if it'd been like a normal kind of sheep or cow fence. Oh, look at her. Come here. Squelch in the mud. Well, you can see the long lead trailing behind her. Look at her go. Oh, she had the best time. Yeah, definitely recommend if you're in the central belt of Scotland. They've got loads of these fields about. We just happened to be driving near that one when we were away for the weekend. We just happened to find this one nearby, and yeah, it was great. But this was great for her, for a dog who we don't have a back garden, and who can't really get let loose in like dog parks because she's not great with other dogs, this was worth every single penny we spent hiring this field. We booked it for half an hour and you can see how mad she's running about. She genuinely probably needed about 10-15 minutes and she was out cold. Oh, we should do this again soon. She was having so much fun. Oh, look at them go. She was absolutely exhausted afterwards. You can see she was barely even panting. She was so tired. She didn't want to leave. Yep. This was her once about 30 seconds after we got in the car. Just yeah, and then this clip is where we started the vlogs together. So that is all the clips we wanted to go through for the first couple of weeks of me doing the house, mainly just taking off wallpaper and scrubbing walls, the lost weeks as such. Yeah, that's us now fully caught up. I mean, I have the full haul transformation complete. It was really good to look back on all of those clips and just remember where we started, remember how far we've come. And let's run the before and afters. Week on an awesomely positive note, seeing those before and afters. Thank you so much for joining me for another week of DIY and art, even if in a slightly different format this week, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye!